Stirring the coffee with the huge chopsticks of truth, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. At the molecular level. Been out of practice. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, somebody gave me these little packets of Starbucks Via instant coffee. Italian roast. So let's just try that. I've got a little bit of cream and some honey in there. Actually, not bad. I like it. Well, cheers. Good morning to you. Well, it's actually pretty good, isn't it? Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Right? Folk wisdom, they used to say that. Why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? People say, well, we got this thing. We get each other. We understand each other. The truth is, if it's not mutual, if this, I guess I'll just say if it's not mutual, then somebody is ripping someone else off or someone is lying. That's why if you're going to spin plates, guys, if you're going to have multiple girlfriends, you let someone know right from the get that that's how it is. That you're still dating. You're seeing other people. The act of being exclusive with somebody while you're seeing other people is a lie. Yeah, but they're lying to us, or they're lying to me, and all women are this. I get that, dude. I totally get that. You know what's beautiful right up front? Yeah, I'm seeing other people as well. Keep it light. That way you don't have to hide anything. I've been there. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to pull the blonde hair girl's hair out of my hairbrush so the brown hair girl tomorrow doesn't see that. Women always leave clues. Always leave clues. The old Bob Seger night moves thing. I used her, she used me, but neither one cared. We were getting our share. When I look back at that, I can actually say that that's BS, because somebody is bound to start feeling exploited most of the time. In my past, I've had what I call some night moves kind of relationships. And they ended, and nobody felt ripped off or exploited. But in time, my time is valuable. And I hate wasting time with anything or anybody. Because there's a lot of things you can get back with hard work. One of the things you can't get back is time. I love you, honey. Yes, I love you too. You know, and all those calls during the day. Love you too. They're all BS if there's no end goal. That's why I like to say date with a purpose. If there's no end goal and there's no purpose, what is it for? Just immediate pleasure? I'm just asking. I'm not condemning. I'm not pedestalizing any certain method. But listen to an old dog who's been around a little bit. Pretending that there's no expiration date on a relationship doesn't mean that there's no expiration date. Then when that expiration happens, you better pretend that it doesn't hurt. I've always been drawn to films that have older couples in them. Experienced actors. Start with these films. These are the best examples. The directors and the classically trained actors are absolutely superb. The Leisure Seeker, Le Weekend, 45 Years, The Wife, Still Mine, and I'll See You in My Dreams. You will love them. This weekend, look for them on your streaming service. Somehow, some way. Any of those movies, you'll have a blast watching them. Well, thank you for informing me that you have a stick figure family of 6 and 2 dogs, because that minivan you're driving had me under the impression that you were wild and single. Actually, one of the greatest virtue signaling green lights is when you see the minivan and like the father part is like X'd out, then you can actually pull up alongside that person and smile and wave or whatever. Hello, can I get your number? That's almost like saying, please ask me out. Please have an encounter with me. Have you seen that one yet? You know, the stick figures and the father's gone. One of the fastest ways to change is to hang out with people who are already what you want to be. You know, the average of the 5 people you hang out with, the average of the 5 content creators that you watch. Everyone I know that broke away from a pack of any type usually found success. There's not success within a tribe or a pack. I've seen it, I've experienced it myself. The minute you start, relating or identifying with a group of people, a sphere of men, you kind of forfeit your sovereignty. And poverty creeps up on you. And then you start condemning other people for being successful. Break away, my friends. Break away. Women have said to me they're envious of my ability to enjoy solitude, not talk for hours, read for hours on end, and enjoy a sunrise or a sunset by myself, enjoying a pipe or a cigar or a cocktail alone. You know, when you live like this, people notice. They want what you have. You can't teach that. You are it. You emulate it. Like my friend Dick Vermeil says, look for people that you can emulate. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Are you coffee roasting curious? Myth number 1 about roasting coffee is that coffee beans will smell good when being roasted in a roaster or a stovetop pan. The truth is that it's going to set off smoke alarms and your house is going to smell like it's burning down. Here's a tip. Roast slow. Keep the beans moving. Bean color, not necessarily time roasted, is your metric for creating magnificent home roasted coffee. I've made so many mistakes roasting coffee. In the beginning, you might end up throwing out more coffee than you keep. You'll see. But once you start roasting your own coffee, my lord, there's no coffee in the world that beats your home roasted coffee. None. When a younger man calls his wife my dear or says yes dear, it seems kind of wimpy and weak, doesn't it? When an old man says my dear or yes dear to his wife, you sense the depth and the history that preceded it. When you know there was 100 or maybe 1,000 times that they could have thrown in the towel, but they didn't. Daybreak Show Season 4, I can't believe it's Season 4 already, starts on September 13th on Patreon. Fridays always will be here on YouTube, but daily again on Patreon starting Monday, September 13th. Hope to see you there. If not, then Fridays it is. The unstuck episodes. Episodes that get you unstuck in life, make you think a little bit. Yeah. I have letter after letter after letter of people who watch the Daybreak Show. They go back to old episodes, they watch it. They watch it with their wives, with their husbands, with their kids. You know, one gold nugget that's leveraged properly can change your life. I like to say that I'm the IV drip of motivation, not the fire hose of motivation. Motivation, one drop at a time, over a long period of time, will transform your life. St. Augustine says, bad times, hard times. This is what people keep saying, but let us live well, and times shall be good. We are the times. Such as we are, such are the times. I love that. I love that. Remember Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine? He would say, what? Me worry? How about that one meme showed like a dude like sitting in a flood, smoking a pipe. Like nothing was bothering the guy, just in the flood, smoking a pipe. Like the water's up to here. He's like perched on something, like a rock or something. With all the foolishness going on in the world, which is all political, it's all, listen to me, everything that you see on the news right now, it's 100% political. 100%. It's got nothing to do with anything else but politics, conservative or liberal. Screw both of them because they're all in on it. Don't kid yourself. If you see something on TV or radio that is called conservative, know this one thing, it's not conservative. It's not conservative. If you're a conservative and that's important to you, you're not getting anything conservative through the media or social media. You have to kind of go to off-grid sites, forums, other places to find true conservatism. Be conservative. With all this craziness going on, I'm hardly affected because I stopped watching the news many, many years ago. And I'm doing just fine. Turn it off. Turn it off. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. Seeds of foolishness and impulsiveness grow to full-grown trees of regret that bear bitter fruit year after year. Yeah, man. You know, there's a lot of decisions that you can reverse by making another decision. But some decisions that can't be reversed so easily are marrying the wrong person. And don't think that you can just like wave the magic Jesus wand and make a bad marriage decision a good one. What is the matter with you Christian people? What is the matter with you? You got all horny and stupid, you married the wrong person for the wrong reasons, and then you somehow are under the belief that God can just bless it. Can He? Sure, of course He can. Does He? Not most of the time, I'll tell you that. What God has put together, let no man put asunder. But what if God didn't put it together? I'm not afraid to tell you it's okay to go for a divorce. Don't think that you can just all of a sudden have a born-again marriage. It might work if you're bickering, if no one's cheating, but I think once cheating and violence happens in any form or fashion from either party, I think it's over. That's my opinion. What is the best non-CGI horror film? There was I saw a preview for a new movie coming out this month, horror movie, you know, like from the director of Insidious and all this stuff. And it just looked like a lot of the same stuff, like the creeping mold up the walls and people like walking like backwards and up walls and on I'm just like, yawn. Just tired of it. Tired of it. You know, the quick, like the cheap scares where things just like jump at you. Yeah. What is a good non-CGI horror film? Put your answers down below. Here's a quiz for you. Should women be the breadwinner? Man, this has always caused a lot of controversy. Should women be the breadwinner? Dad stay at home and the kids watch her go to work in the morning. What do you think of that? What are your thoughts? Put your answer down below. I promise I won't be judgmental on this one. Publicly. Gene Roddenberry, writer, creative, Renaissance man, creator of Star Trek. I love what he says. For Star Trek to be created, there had to be a man whose inner life was not a battlefield, whose intellect and sense of adventure were not in conflict. It took a Renaissance man. That is such a great article. I forget what year that's from. Here's 3 things you never compromise on. Number 1 is shoes. Always buy the most comfortable, even if they cost much more. Comfort is more important than looks, so just save up for good shoes. You will be happier in the long run. No sense in taking your feet that are supposed to be like this, and when you look at most people's feet, especially women have like these scrunched toes, and the big toe is just kind of like bent over, and they've uglified their feet from jamming their feet into these pointy shoes and pumps for years and years and years, and heels where their feet slide down into a point. And there's now, 3, 4, 5 generations of women who have really ugly feet as a result of that. Men, not so much with the pointy shoes, but women, holy cow. Is there a way to reverse that? You can start wearing wider shoes. The part where the front of your foot, the toes go into, that's called the toe box. If that area is a little bit wider, a lot of people feel that that's like an ugly look. But the reality is, ladies, you've ruined your feet. You've ruined your feet. Start wearing shoes, sneakers that are have a little room for your toes. It's just bad for your walking, bad for your back, bad for your posture. And it just makes for ugly feet, too. This is weird. Anyone ever see the movie Boomerang with Eddie Murphy? And he would judge women by their feet. And it wasn't like he had a foot fetish. I'm not talking about foot fetish, guys. I'm talking about, like, if a woman has pretty feet, the guy's like, yeah. Remember he pulled the sheets up and her feet looked nice, and he was like, yeah. But some feet are just look like a fist. That's kind of a deal breaker, right? For you guys. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Put your answer down below. Woman could be beautiful, have a great body, but her feet just look like a scrunched up mess of digits. Number 2, things you never compromise on. Mattress. You spend 1/3 of your life on a bed. Never underestimate the healing and regenerative power of a good sleep. Again, like shoes, save your money. Deals are not worth it. The best bed I ever slept on was the Revive mattress series in St. Kitts in the Caribbean. It was at a Marriott, and at that time, Marriott used the Revive mattress series for other luxury hotels. It's one of the best sleeps I ever got in my life. The Revive mattress. I don't even know if it still exists. That was probably 10 to 15 years ago, easily. This was before these memory foam kind of mattresses came out. Check it out. If it still exists, it might be worth trying. Another thing you never compromise on, number 3, your love life. Never have trade-offs for the important things like faith, attraction, friendly companionship, political views. The minute you trade off those things, that's a seed for future division. You might not see it now, but it's a seed that sprouts and becomes a tree, and then that bears fruit. You're always going to have a restless heart and wandering eyes if you compromise and have trade-offs. Mark my words on that. There is joy in commitment. Let me say this. There is joy in commitment to the right person. Many people can trace their woes to this issue if they're honest with themselves. That's another thing that coaching does. I help people stop lying to themselves. Yeah. So you need a new car, let your fingers take a walk through the business guide for the born-again flock. You'll be keeping all your money in the kingdom now, and you'll only drink milk from a Christian cow. Steve Taylor, 1984. Boy, I love that song. Christopher Morley says, a man who's never made a woman angry is a failure at life. I must be a real success. Here's something from C.S. Lewis. How are we to live in an atomic age? He wrote this in 1948. I am tempted to reply, why, as you would have lived in the 16th century when the plague visited London almost every year. Ooh, sounds familiar. Or as you would have lived in a Viking age when raiders from Scandinavia might land and cut your throat any night, or indeed as you are already living in an age of cancer, an age of chronic pain, an age of paralysis, an age of air raids, an age of railway accidents, an age of motor accidents. In other words, do not let us begin by exaggerating the novelty of our situation. Believe me, dear sir or madam, you and all whom you love were already sentenced to death before the atomic bomb was invented, and quite a percentage of us were going to die in unpleasant ways anyways. It is perfectly ridiculous to go about whimpering and drawing long faces because the scientists have added one more chance of painful and premature death to a world which already bristled with such chances, and in which death itself was not a chance at all but a certainty. The first action to be taken is to pull ourselves together. If we are all going to be destroyed by the atomic bomb, let that bomb, when it comes, find us doing sensible and human things, praying, working, teaching, reading, listening to music, bathing the children, playing tennis, chatting to our friends over a pint, a game of darts, not huddled together like frightened sheep, thinking about death. They may break our bodies. A microbe can do that, but they need not dominate our minds. Holy cow. Now you know why C.S. Lewis is my favorite author of all time. This is from the apocryphal book of Sirach. Take it or leave it. Blessed is the man that has a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. A harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman, a virtuous woman, is a tower against death to her husband. A good woman can add life to your years. Absolutely. Quality years. A not so good woman can take away years from your life. Gentlemen, some wisdom in that. I have a picture pinned to my wall, an image of you and me, and we're laughing and loving it all. Thompson Twins, 1983. Do you like that song? Man, there are some songs from the 80s that I'm really digging. Really, really digging. Kind of like this techno pop, synth pop. And it's funny, I hated it when it first came out. And Clearview actually revived my interest in some of those songs that were pretty much became elevator music, so to speak. But now if you just go to Pandora and create a channel called 80s New Wave, you'll like it. You'll see. And finally, never let an idea escape. Write them down or log them. Great ideas die every day because they aren't nailed down. Memory is a weak slave when it comes to preserving and nurturing brand new ideas. Healthy, creative people know an idea can sprout up at any time in any place. So your self-improvement and your growth, personal growth, now includes writing things down in a central place, a data file, a field note, a little pad you keep in your pocket, a little field journal of some type, which you know I'm a huge fan of. Memory is a weak slave. Write things down. Speaking of writing things down, this Pilot pen, 4-color pen, my interest was revived in 4-color pens. I've been using the Bic 4-color pen for years, and I've had this for years, and I just kind of brought this back. I like the gel pens. It's got the black, blue, red, and green, and I use this in my journaling, and I use this in my coaching notes. I'll put a link for this. This is the Pilot Coleto, or Coleto. I love it. Absolutely love it. This is always with my journal. Always. Always, always, always with my journal. It's never not with my journal. You should see my journal. Always written in 4 colors. All of my coaching notes written in 4 colors. And with that, finish your coffee and I'll see you next Friday on the Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason. And daily, the Daybreak Show will be on Patreon. Your home of sanity, clarity, and reason, Monday through Friday. Cheers, my friend.